All right, welcome back to another live feed. My Rashad's YouTube channel. Hopefully, I'll get better views today, like I did with the first two live feeds I did. It didn't do so good. Let's get into it. 1987-88 NBA season, the greatest season ever. With a question mark, this is a book that was written by a gentleman named Rich Cohen. He felt that this is the greatest season of all time. So we're gonna get into the finals. This is between the Lakers and the Pistons. Magic versus Isaiah. Great series. Well, for the Midwest, Magic from Michigan, Isaiah from Chicago. So this was definitely a must-see TV type of situation. The bad boy Pistons versus Showtime Lakers. So that was just something that central casting because you had the Detroit Pistons trying to get past the Lakers. They already got past the Celtics, but now it's all about can they get past the Lakers. That was the narrative right there at the time. They had to get past the Lakers. The Lakers were a team that was trying to repeat. They were trying to live off what Pat Riley said after they win in '87. The repeat, guaranteed next year we're gonna win it again. And obviously they had to get past the Pistons in order to do that. But the Pistons should have won this series. They were up, 3-2, and they got bad call on Bill Laimbeer. He fouled Bar. Didn't look like a foul, but he made his free throws and they was able to come out on top and force a game 7. So at that time, you had a chance to see the Pistons not only win in '88, but win the next two championships, which they would do in '89 and '90. They would won 3 championships in a row, something that was unheard of at that time. So they were definitely on the verge. It's just that the Lakers was a better team. They knew what it took to get it done. So let's start with Game 1. The morning of Game 1, the LA Times sports section, which predicted the Lakers win in 5. It's Magic versus his little buddy, Pocket Magic. According to CBS commentator Brent Musburger, the Pistons will be challenged not just by the Lakers, but by the blinding awesomeness of the Hollywood scene, the glitz of the fabulous form, the nightlife temptations, courtside, celebrities, and stuff like that. As Brent Musburger talked about it in the before the opening tip, he said, "Let's start with the Lakers. Without a doubt, they are the team of the '80s. They have won 4 championships. The drive for 5 is only 4 victories away. There's another goal for this team. If they win this one, they will become the first team since the Celtics in '68 and '69 to win back-to-back NBA championships. For Detroit, this is one of emotion. They've already achieved their goal by beating Boston, or can they climb back emotionally and recapture that spirit against the Lakers?" So in Game 1, at the start of the game, the Pistons gathered around Chuck Daly beside their bench. Loud, a communal cheer then ran onto the floor. Laimbeer came with his head down. The phone was a few miles from his high school. He returned with an air of defiance, played angry from the first minute. Predictions that the Lakers would win the series in 5 games or even a sweep infuriated Laimbeer. Detroit had played a half-court game against the Celtics, but Chuck Daly sent his team into Game 1 with a different plan. The Lakers were known for speed, but the Pistons were younger and just as fast. They came out running, meeting speed with speed on one end and reaching defensive pressure on the other, employing a full-court press early. The Pistons were like an upstart nation trying to shock your superpower with a quick surprise, a blitzkrieg. Hit him with everything and see what happens. Laimbeer battling Abdul-Jabbar was a matchup that would define the series. Laimbeer did his best to muscle Abdul-Jabbar, who was 4 inches taller, one play after another. You see Kareem back to the hoop, leaning against Laimbeer's forearm. I can't block him, so I just try to push him into no man's land and hope he misses when he shoots. Kareem was unfortunately 1 for 8 in Game 1. Everything else worked for the Pistons, where Dumars hit his jump shots as they set the tempo, drove the lane. Laimbeer was perfect from the outside. Dantley was having what Isaiah described as the best game as a pro. They just started the game with the 8-0 run, sucking the energy out of the form. They got off to a great start. And the Pistons had a better bench. You made case Edwards, James Edwards, John Sally, Dennis Rodman, Vinnie Johnson. No one in the league can match that. That's why they call Vinny Johnson the microwave. He dished the ball across the court to Lambeau, who hit a three-point pointer from the corner. Perhaps because they were only 4 seconds left in the half. Kareem inbounded Leonard Diggley, and Isaiah picked off the pass, turned the jump, released the rainbow that jump, dropped for another three as a horn blew. 17-point lead for the Pistons. They ended up winning this game. Also talk about this chapter, they talked about James Worthy. He was back for the second half. They had trouble containing Worthy's intelligence, power, and speed. He was in the shadow first of Germany at North Carolina, then of Magic in LA. They kept Worthy from being rated among the top 20 to ever play. He tended to fade in the dog days of January and February, but he played his best as about as well as anyone has ever played in the playoffs. When it mattered most, a classic mark of excellence. Great teams need at least two great players. The second of those two usually dims in proximity. For the Bills, that was Pippen. For the Celtics, it was McHale. For the Lakers, it was Worthy. Without Big Game James, Magic does not become Magic, and LA is not Showtime. The Pistons continue to win the hustle plays. As Rodman blocked shots, Isaiah scored over and under Byron Scott, Vinnie Johnson the torch, Lakers guard Michael Cooper, with whom many, including Bird, consider the best defender in the league. I think the Lakers need a little nudge or scare before they can get their game going. Nelson Dick Scott said on CBS, maybe that's the function of this game, to scare the Lakers. The format, if they don't get it together, they might never get back to perform. Pistons have done to the Lakers what they did to the Celtics. They hit the first blow, shocked the world champions. 105-93 was the final score. And according to Adrian Dantley said, we are for real. Everyone was expecting us to lose in 4 or 5. We got guys that are hungry. We got some character. We know they have a favorite, but we're going to give them a fight. So game 2 comes around. Locker room was raucous. Jim Fitzgerald got no camcorder and all that. But the Lakers able to strike back and even the series at 1-1. According to Billy Cunningham, he said, the Pistons now know they can, in fact, beat the Lakers at the Forum. This is one game 2. They won 108-96. Now, still nobody tune in except for one person. Well, so we go back to game 3. Back home, it was the first game of the finals in Michigan. So Magic Johnson's home turf. And since where you're from, Lakers got to a great start. They led 23-21. He was able to win game 3, 99-86. They outscored Detroit 31-18 in the third quarter of game 3. Then game 4 comes. Pat Riley called Magic out before game 4. He felt he needed to issue a challenge, otherwise his team might sell back and lose momentum. So they lose game 4 to the Pistons. Pistons win that game. But the Pistons outscored the Lakers bench 20-1. They had 58-51 at halftime. They won 111-86. Then the pivotal game 5 came about. This would be the last game for the Pistons playing at the Silverdome because, a year later, they'll play at the Auburn Hills, Plaza of Auburn Hills. So the Pistons came out, played well. The Lakers were up 8-0, called a timeout, but didn't arrest the fall. They scored the first points for the Pistons, hitting a jump shot that made it 13-2, but the Lakers answered daily, called a second timeout. He circled up his players. The Pistons chipped away at the lead. Vinnie Johnson hit 5 or 6, scoring 10 points in a row. Gave up about 9 points Starting the third. They were up 90-81. They won 104-94. Now here comes game 6. So we have this is the game where Isaiah just took it to another level with his shooting exhibition at the sprained ankle. It was like 53-46, but it was the third quarter where Isaiah just took off, did his thing. Get jumpers, runners, fadeaways, shots banked in, others went swish. 5:38 to go in the third quarter. Isaiah already had 24 points. Pistons were down by 6. But they kept coming with Isaiah, despite him being injured. Scored 21 points in the third, tying the game at 77. Hit a 20-foot three-pointer at the buzzer to put Detroit ahead. Then Magic conducted the rush, leading his team on a 9-0 run, and they got back into it. It was up 97-96. Pistons was up 102-99. Then Byron Scott hit a jumper to put the Lakers within 1. 52 seconds ago. Then Chuck Daly called timeout. Adrian Dantley inbounded to Lambert at the break. Lambert passed to Dumars, then freed Dumars. The pick then floated out to the three-point line. Got a pass from Dumars, turned his and hit Isaiah in the corner. Zeke dribbled this way and that, trying to create space, but Michael Cooper clung to him like a burr. Finally, with the shot clock running down, Isaiah put up a rainbow that clanked off the rim and into the air. So Willie corralled it, timeout. They're down by 1 with 27 seconds left. So Riley sent them back to the floor with a set play. Cooper inbound to Kareem. Pass to Magic, pass to Scott, pass to Kareem. Posted up Lambert 5 feet from the basket. Kareem elevated, arm extended for the sky hook. Ball bounded off the rim. And the Pistons had it. Ball in lead with the 14 seconds left. 14 seconds from the championship is what the Pistons was thinking. 14 seconds from the trophy and parade. Kill the clock when the title. They were already celebrating Detroit. Then you heard the whistle. It was the alarm clock that makes you wake, that wakes you up from a wonderful dream. It was the factory whistle that blows above the coke pits of hell. The referee said Lambert had fouled Abdul-Jabbar. No matter how many times you examine the play, no foul can be found. That was not a foul cornered by Bryant. It was covering the game. Lambert never touched him, but it put Kareem on the line and changed history. Lambert was 2 feet from Kareem. Then he hit those 2 free throws and we missed the shot. They hit another shot and that was it. They were all running all over the place, hugging each other, and we were like, the phantom foul that cost the Pistons the 1988 NBA championship was a result of a lifetime of good and bad works. The first of which made people trust and respect Kareem. The second of which made people respect and disdain Lambert. We were 1 minute away from winning it all. You were sitting beside Isaiah, whose ankle was packed in ice. Yeah, that was a questionable call, man. Did Lambert foul Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in that situation? It seemed like he didn't at that time. So we go to game 7. It was about survival. Isaiah not 100%, but he had to go out there and play. Despite what his ankle was feeling like, That's what great players do. This was a great one. Big Game James put the cape on, man. He just played an excellent game. Lakers led 52-27, 47. Big James, he had 20 points by the break. He won that, got it done, and took over that game. They would have won an MVP. Lakers led 100 with 117 to go. You can hear Bradley shouting over the den, "Hey, bro, get the ball to James." Robin body up Magic as Magic carried the ball. James banked it in, grabbed the ball, banked it in. He also slapped the ball, tipped it in. He rolled around from the rim instantly on his next jump, grabbed the ball and banked it in. So Worthy was the guy, man. He was the man. He was the one that dominated the series. Dominated the Game 7. Yep, that was it. Won the championship. Worthy was the MVP. James Worthy was the MVP. Right, so that's it for this book, man. I'm done. Get into something else tomorrow. That's it. Only 2 people tune in today. I'm amazed. I'll be back at 1 o'clock. Another live feed. Don't understand the less views that I'm getting today. So then, talk to you soon.